Chat Arms TV, man. We're back with another artist interview, man. This is one that I've been excited about. We linked up a couple of months ago on IG. I think it was on a reel or something I saw, and I found out about your music. And I was telling my girl, I was like, man, this dude is legit. Like, he's super dope. Didn't know that you were in and out of the city a lot. And then when I found that out, I was like, man, this is the universe saying we need to link up and work on something.
Hell yeah.
We got the super talented Big Trip, man.
Man, Brendan Lewis Chapote, Big Trip. Shout out Chat Arms TV, man, for making this happen. Like you said, it's been a minute. I've been in Nashville now for about 2 years. I ended up here, actually, I was on a tour, and the last show happened to be in Nashville. And basically what happened was I thought I was only going to spend about 3 days here. I ended up spending like 2 weeks. And then after that, before that, I was living in Denver. And I was like, nah, you know what? Let's go back to Nashville. I like the feel. I like the music. I just like the energy and the almost competition of, everyone trying to be the best and this and that. So, but yeah, we're here now, man. So
yeah.
we're here now.
We are, bro. So the Big Trip story, bro. Let's start it from, where were you born and raised at?
Born and raised, Port Chester, New York. So born and raised Italian, like just as stereotypical as all the movies you've seen growing up. Everyone lived in 10 miles of each other. Our Thanksgivings, our Christmases was about 40 people deep. Lasagna trays, pasta trays, crazy. Like, you're gluttonous, to be honest. Crazy gluttonous, but you know what I'm saying? You coming here, you're getting fed. That's for sure. So luckily I could cook from it, so I love that. But I was born right in Westchester County, so right outside of New York City. So it's about 20 minutes outside the city. I lived in about 4 different cities before I graduated high school. So my family situation, I was kind of bouncing around a lot too. But Port Chester, New York was where my family originated. Yeah. And then from there, I was a baseball player my whole life. Long story short, played some baseball, got in some trouble, man. Had to leave. Never stepped foot in Colorado off a dream. I was like, you know what? I'm going to Denver. Let me see what happens out west. Yeah. And then I spent about 6 years out west, did the LA thing. And again, now we're back here in Nashville. So.
Yeah, man. So going back to the New York part of your story, growing up, like, how would you compare? Because I know you've lived in multiple cities in New York. I've seen on interviews where you said that I can't remember how many different schools you went to and stuff like that. How would you compare New York life? Because not only that, you moved to Colorado. How long did you live there?
6 years.
Yeah. So comparing New York to like Colorado and now Nashville, what are some of the goods and bads of like each one that you maybe miss, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure with New Yorkers, it crowds, I'm sure, is a... Man,
New York is crazy, and I'm forever grateful just for the attitude of New Yorkers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that attitude is hospitality, and it may come off as wrong, or it may come off as mean, or this or that, but everyone's on their bully. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's trying to do something. Everyone's trying to create something, which I love, and that energy is really infectious, and it's really, you better run or you're going to get run over. And I think that is something that, if that's instilled in you, and then once I was able to move and kind of see like down south, because down south, once I was a freshman in high school, basically the whole time I would spend my whole time down south playing baseball. So everybody else would go, all my friends would get jobs and stuff during the summer, freshman year of high school. But I went to baseball. Excuse me, bro.
No, you good, bro.
And that was because the South had the best baseball. So literally for 4 years straight, every summer my dad would just ship me off in a van, and I wouldn't see my family. I wouldn't see anyone for about 2 months. I'd just be on the road. And but I love the Southern, the slowness of the Southern lifestyle. I love the people of the lifestyle. Like I said, the hospitality is so real. The food is so real. Flying into B&A, bro, compared to LGA. When I got to fly into LGA and it's the mess, and it's an hour to get anywhere, but flying into B&A and I'm home and I'm rolling up and my food is on the way in 15 minutes. It's crazy, bro. But Denver's obviously beautiful in its own reasons. I love hiking, and I love, I climbed a bunch of mountains out there. I've been a big hiker my whole life, so just the scenery out there was very important to me. And I think that helped my kind of mental space, just seeing all that openness kind of open up my mind. I was going to say that tranquil like setting that's probably
Colorado, I would think for you, just knowing you the way I know you, at least so far, is like, that's probably what you took from that the most, I would think.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, I'm coming out, the Coma that we touched on a little bit earlier, but, I was in a coma for the alcohol at a .62 with all the drugs in my system. And again, I quit my scholarship, so I really was at a point of rebuilding. And, I had to go, I was so stuck in this mode of this is who I am, this is my personality. But when I went out to Colorado, and it was the first time I saw just the openness and the vastness, and to me, it just completely opened my mind of, whoa, I could go over here, I could go over here, I could go over here, instead of just me being in this bubble that, I kind of created as a child. But, I love everywhere, man. There's not a lot of states I haven't been to, but traveling is one of my favorite parts for that reason. It's seeing the different cultures, seeing the different things that the landscape provides, and, what the people provide too, so.
Yeah, man. And so, like, growing up, you said sports were a big thing for you growing up. So, and you ended up playing multiple sports, but baseball is what you decided to choose. Do you want to speak about how baseball came about and, like, kind of how that went going up until, like, you decided to stop doing it?
Yes, sir. So my father was a Division I baseball player, so obviously it was kind of his thing to, again, he was pushing me to just be athletic, but, obviously I gravitated a little bit more towards, becoming the baseball star and this and that. And, my dad to this day, he'll say if I was going to go pro in any other sport, it would have been tennis. But I didn't even play tennis like that. But really the main sports I played was basketball. I played a little bit of hockey too.
Being from New York.
Being from New York, so hockey was, one of my most fun sports, honestly, to this day. But basketball too, and then baseball. But that mindset and that commitment. In New York, I was on some of the best teams in New York, and I brought my high school to we won the first state in 35 years or something. So we had, like, it was the first time it happened, big parade out in the city for us and this and that. But it was amazing. What I'm saying? Really just being, like I said, I was, ranked very highly, and I was actually just thinking about this the other day, but that feeling of just being, the top of something, and really being the top of something in your state. And it's not like music where it's up to debate. It's like, nah, these are numbers. This dude is this good. This dude, and then seeing all the scouts come to the games and this and that, and walking around, with that kind of confidence built from how hard I was working. Like I said, it's the same reason why I walk into any room with the CEOs of all these top companies, and they're going to feel my presence. You know what I'm saying? They're going to feel that I'm comfortable because, again, I've accomplished things in my life that, I earned, and I earned by myself. So.
Yeah. And when you were speaking about the baseball, like how you was able to take your team where they got to and the work ethic, speak to the people a little bit about how you look at working. Because it's we spoke about it a little bit on the pod, and I've seen you talk about it in interviews, but, like, growing up, speaking of the baseball part, tell them about the story about the gym, and going to the gym.
Yeah, so normally, obviously, people would, or kids, I was in 8th grade at the time. I think when I started, maybe 7th grade, but, kids would go to school, they wake up, go to school, cry about going to school, and then maybe have a sport after, or maybe just go home after and just chill or do nothing. But when I told my dad that I was down to play, professional baseball, he's like, all right, I'm going to make you a professional baseball player. So before school, he lied about my age to Bally Total Fitness. And basically he snuck me in when I was 14 years old. And he picked me up because I didn't live with him at the time, but he would pick me up. We go into the gym before school at like 5 a.m. I go back, take a shower, go to class, be exhausted. After school, then we have practice. And then after practice, me and him built our own batting cage. So that when he was done with work around 7, 8 o'clock, my mom would drive me over to the batting cage that we had, and we getting extra reps in. Yeah. So, like, no wonder why I was like, you know what I'm saying? So my brain was clicking, like, of course I'm the best, bro. And, like, that's where I take it over into my music of, like, bro, as long as I grind harder than everybody, as long as I'm in the studio as much as I can when I'm off the road, even when I'm on the road, I bring my studio with me, but as long as I'm hitting all the single spots, and that's why I say, to me, nobody's outworking me with my content that I'm putting out, with my videos I'm putting out, with the singles, with the artists who I'm working with. And to me, it's just like, that's how I get excited by it. And yes, it's tiring, and part of it sucks. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called work. But again, you got to embrace it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just one of those people. Again, I run marathons because, just to help other people with their mental health. But I'm crazy, bro. So I like to look at it as a challenge, and I like to look at it like, you're not going to beat me. Like, yo, let's get on the treadmill right now and see who's going to fall first. I guarantee it's not going to be me, bro. And
that warrior spirit. Yeah,
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
And maybe it led me to the seizures that I deal with. I don't know. Maybe it's to a fault, but regardless, like I said, I'm gonna go out on my own shield, and that's how I live, bro. It's all or nothing. You feel me? So
Yeah. So the music side of things, right? So baseball, did you ever see yourself doing that? That's like this is what I'm fixing to do. I'm fixing to be a pro ball player. Was that ever something you saw yourself with baseball?
absolutely, my whole
It was?
life,
Okay.
my whole life until about really once I signed my scholarship, my Division I scholarship, because really that was the first thing that I wanted to aim for. I mean, going pro, was inevitable because I was like, all right, if I get the D1 scholarship, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna go pro. But once I got the Division I scholarship, that's when I was a sophomore in high school. So then I became a junior in high school. Then I went back to my public high school, and that's kind of when I was growing a lot more as a man. There's a lot of stuff going on in my family.
Yeah.
Moving and this and that and a lot of personal stuff. So like that's when my mind kind of started opening up and being like, you know what if my mom is right? What if I am doing this because of maybe my dad's pushing me too hard? Or what if I am...
So that's what she was saying, like
There's
really what you want to do.
It was one of those like stereotypical situations of like your father living his goal through you. And he was and again, he had letters from, the Mets, the Dodgers. He was an incredible baseball player himself, but he also knew that I could do it and with how much money I could make if I did it.
Yeah.
But for me, again, like you said, for me, it wasn't about the money because I was like, I want to do something that is unique, that is me, that nobody can tell me what to do. I hate going to school. I hate people tell me to wake up at a certain time, you know what I'm saying? And I still wake up when the sun shines. You know what I'm saying? It's not even, but it's just how it is, bro. But it was an interesting ride, that's for sure.
Yeah. So music, what do you remember growing up hearing in the house, whether it would be at your dad's or your mom's or your family's? Maybe not necessarily something that made you want to make music or anything, but just stuff that you remember growing up, like loving hearing when you was a kid.
Yeah. I'd say from my mom's side, it was a lot of like Earth, Wind and Fire, a lot of Michael Jackson. My dad's side was more Eric Clapton, a lot of Santana. So like I said, for me, no one in my family was ever showing me hip hop, to say the least. But it was a lot of soul and a lot of rock and roll and that kind of stuff was kind of surrounded by me, and that's why I kind of picked up the drums. And even to this day, sometimes I'll be on stage rapping while I'm playing the drums and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of what was in my ear. And then just because again of the situation and the different cultures that I was around when I was in high school, that kind of made me develop my own sound of what I like, and that's kind of reflected in my music today, which is a lot of hip hop, but it's also a lot of rock and roll sounds. There's a lot of different sounds in there. There's instruments on every single song that I put out. So it's the blend of music is definitely in the product of what I put out, I'd say.
No, for sure, dude. When it comes to rap, what do you remember being the rap that you started gearing towards, whether it be your friends or when you was in school or whatever? I'm just curious about that because you being in New York, the majority of your upbringing, was it East Coast hip hop?
Yeah, all East Coast, bro. Like, I mean, Biggie, obviously, was like something I was obsessed with, growing up. I could still, gun to my head, rap, 50% of his songs, lyric for lyric.
Yeah.
I still love Pac at the same time. But yeah, you couldn't be as close to the city as I was and not be infected by, Biggie and, what P. Diddy was doing. No Diddy right now, but what P. Diddy was doing.
Right. Bad Boy was back then, bro, especially because like mid 2000s. I talk to my buddies all the time about this. Like, I'm still and always will be a diehard Dipset fan.
Yeah.
Like Dipset, and a lot of people aren't as big of fans of Dipset because they're flashy.
Hell yeah.
But like Cameron to me, and Jewels and Jim Jones and all them guys.
Love them all.
Yeah, the Locks, like any.
Man,
now,
shout out Jadakiss and shout out J1, man. J1's doing this thing right now in Yonkers. I grew up with him in high school too, and he's Jadakiss's son, and he's rapping too. So shout out J1, but yeah, all that, man. There's so much history in New York, obviously, but it's amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear the different creative sounds that came out of New York, and you'll hear that in a little bit. To me, I think.
Yep.
But again, at the same time, because I've been so many places, it's such a different kind of blend of everywhere. But it's a cool product. We'll say that.
Yeah. So did you growing up, like as far as making music or rapping? Was it something that you started doing as a teenager, just freestyling just for the hell of it? Or did you start writing that young? Like how did that come about? Like when you
I love battle rap, man. Obviously,
me too.
again, I loved hip hop music for ever since I could own, you know what I'm saying? My first CDs were, Eminem and Biggie and guys like that in my little CD case that I said, no one opened my CD case and this and that. But it was a lot of that. It was a lot of, I love the energy of battle rap. Like to me, like just watching battle rap was just so enticing. And
me too.
I was the same type of dude. Like I said, at parties, everyone got drunk and maybe I have some drinks, but I was just waiting for the first person to put on an instrumental so I could be the one to rap, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this and that. So but really
like
that's
Trip speaking of rap, y'all Trip speaking of rap.
exactly, you know what I'm saying? But that's really just it was as innocent as that, man. And like I said, just because my identity as a baseball player was so solidified that they were like, man, he's never gonna rap. Like that's why even when I told my friends or when I first started making music, like a lot of them felt weird about it because they were like, what are you talking about, bro? You about to rap? What are you gonna rap about? You know what I'm saying? Like this and that. But again, now they know I got a lot to rap about, so it's cool how it turns around, man.
No, for sure, dude. So you've only been doing music for about what, 6 years?
Yeah,
I'd
say about six years, and I'd say about since 2020, really seriously. So
which would have been the first single, right?
Yeah,
that you dropped would have been Pack, right?
Yeah, okay. Pack. Yeah, that's when I was really doing it really seriously. Maybe 7 years if just like when I really wrote my first song was 7 years ago, but yeah, I was with a group at the time, and then we kind of faded and this and that. But I've been doing it really seriously since Pack. That was the first one.
And was this at this point when you started to pursue the music? Was this when you was in Colorado?
Yeah, that was that was in Colorado.
Okay, so when you started, when you put out the first single, and you started, and you was able to hear yourself, and you was able to hear how everything, the process of it, was it something that you instantly fell in love with, the music part?
Yeah, definitely making the music, and I say again, like I said earlier, I made 2 songs today. Making music to me is like my therapy. It's where I just get to not 100%. Think about anything else and just really just go and just make something that's never been made before. So I love that part of the process. Obviously, the tedious hours of mixing and mastering and cover art and getting everything right, that's part of the job.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I love the whole process because at the end of the day, once you put it out. Once you get the feedback from the fans and they're all feeling it and this and that, that's what really makes it worth it. So,
yeah. When Pat came out, did you instantly start to see? Because at that point, was your social media? Were you content creating or anything? Was it just?
Yeah, I had about probably 20 to 30,000 followers at that point when we dropped Pack. Like I said, it was just me kind of making some music, some SoundCloud stuff.
Okay, so you were just kind of dabbling a little bit.
I was doing a lot of freestyle cover stuff that went viral. Me doing old school beats and this and that went viral. And like I said, I had some stuff with a group before too. But when Pack dropped, like I said, that was kind of the one that. We just knew the song was just such a hit, and at the same time, when we put the video together, even though it got taken down 3 times, we were like, yo, this is about to make a statement. And then World Star picked it up, and then No Jumper picked it up, and then a whole bunch of people picked it up, and we just kind of, and that was the first single. That's, again, what brought us to number 14 on iTunes in America for hip-hop, but
for that single or for your album?
For that single,
yeah, dude. That's dope.
And then it kind of set a good trajectory. We had Marky Basie and Phoenix Flexing from Shoreline Mafia on the first album.
Yep.
And then we just been going up since, man. Just tightening up.
Yeah. So you dropped December of 2020 is when you dropped that first single, right? Well, and then in July of 2021 is when you released the first full-length album, which would have been Going Postal.
Yes, sir.
That's the one that included the Baseball Money Rich track. Do you want to speak about that one? Because that ended up getting some traction.
Baseball Money Rich was
It was before that, but it was on that album, right?
Yeah, it was on the Going Postal album. Yeah. So Baseball Money Rich, that was I was just playing MLB The Show one day, man.
Game, dog.
I was playing the game, but I was like, I don't, NBA, you know what I'm saying? You play 2K or something, and to me, the soundtrack is fire. But I was like, yo, I want more rap on here. Yeah. So literally right after that, I put the game down. I went in the room and I made this song called Baseball Money Rich. And basically, once we made that, we had a whole bunch of people tag a bunch of people. Luckily, because of how far I got in baseball, I had some friends in the industry, and they helped me out. And then I ended up having a little partnership with Major League Baseball where I got to make walk-up songs to some of the players.
Fire,
so basically, I actually got to go and throw the first pitch out of the Cubs game last year. And I worked with the White Sox, but basically I would just go make him songs, and go to the stadium, being able to hear the song I made, and he's walking up to it, and he's feeling fresh.
It's like a
bro.
dream, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it was, man. And my dad and everyone seeing me on the field, and you know me, bro. I went up there. They clocked me at 84, bro, right on the mountain, right down the middle, and I got the proof to it too.
Like this isn't just because you had you had a collab with Jose Abreu, right, from the White Sox, yeah. So
he was the first one.
Yeah, that's fire, bro. That's fire. I'm a big baseball fan too. I'm a Braves fan through and through, but I love I love baseball. I grew up on it, and
yes,
I took about 10, 12 years while I wasn't watching it, but now I've been back watching it the last couple of years. But it's dope that that's what you're doing, because you see that all the time in like UFC or NBA or even NFL.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was able to get to that lane with the MLB, being a baseball guy,
yes, sir.
You know, it's kind of cool. It was really cool that.
And that's why we got some plans. Once I got to get, like I said, I got to get my shoulder surgery done again. But we got some plans, bro, coming up. And like I said, I want to make it to where Celebrity Row that you see at the NBA games and Celebrity Row that you see at the NFL games, there's about to be a Celebrity Row at the baseball game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if it's just Big Trip, I'm going to show up to every game, to the MLB. Y'all got me. And at the same time, I'm going to put one out with a wood bat. All the way 350 left center. Trust me, it's coming, bro. I just got to get this fixed up. And National Sounds, too. Y'all better, come on now.
Yeah,
National Sounds, y'all better tap in.
We'll have to tag him in this clip, bro.
Yes, sir.
A clip of this. So, Going Postal album that dropped in 2021, 11 tracks. Was that one of those that you recorded a bunch of songs and then condensed to that? Or was that kind of just the first batch that you ended up recording? A little bit of both?
I think... Man, I really think that this my whole process is just making music and just choosing the best ones. You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes, you know, like if I make 2 to 3 songs and I'm like, yo, these songs have to come out, then I kind of have to build the rest. Okay, these songs are filling this space of the album, the turn up part or the slow part or the middle part. Now let me try to focus a little bit more on this side of the album. How am I going to blend this together? It doesn't need an interlude. What's the intro going to be like? You know, I kind of build from there, but really like, I just think that the consistency of making music, you're eventually going to make a few songs that you know have to come out.
Yep.
And then it's kind of just like building around those bombs. You
bro,
know
that's shout out to you, bro. That's exactly how I format mine, bro.
Yes, sir.
Because it's like, and a lot of the times it's when I'm not even trying to make an album. It's like you're just writing songs and then some dope ones come out and you're like, oh shit, we may be able to kind of, this may be the foundation.
It can all come from one song.
Yeah, dude.
It can all come from one song. Yeah. That's for sure.
And you've been doing a lot of, the following year, you dropped Going Postal. At this point with the music, are you really starting to see people like tapping in with the music?
Yeah, that was really where, after Going Postal, you know, we got a lot of buzz and we shot some like Based on Money Rich music video with Damian Sandoval, who shot every rapper, you know, one of the best in the industry in LA. That video got picked up too. The MLB got behind that video. So we got a lot of new influx of people through there.
Yeah.
So it definitely set up, you know, the next album, Phoenix, pretty well. And that was kind of one of the ones that I really wanted to, you know, let people know more of who I am too. You know, Going Postal's fun. You're going to turn up.
Yeah. It's more personal. Phoenix, more personal album.
Phoenix is a little more personal. It's also a little more crazy. You know, it's a little more experimental. And that was my first time really showing people like, look, I'm not just Based on Money Rich, I get a big, like, you know, I wanted to show people, like, look, I got different pockets, I got different stuff that people can't do, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I first experimented with it, and I think it set it up perfectly for Wild at Heart, which is kind of just like a blend of hip hop, rap, rock, roll, and kind of just everything, you know, so.
Yeah, man, and before we get into that album, favorite baseball team, bro, you got one?
Bro.
Yankees or Mets or?
Bro, Yankees.
Yankees, okay. It's not even a question.
It's not even a question. It's not even a question. And I've answered it so many times that, I mean, I'm telling you, bro, next person who asks me that, man, I'm just going to look at y'all just like.
Yeah. Well, now y'all know, bro.
Come on, Bronx Bombers, baby. Yeah. Bronx Bombers, baby.
Do you have a favorite Yankee?
Derek Jeter all time, for sure. You know,
Yeah.
just because of what he did, how he closed out his career. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on the Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, Jorge Posada. You know, those are my guys who I grew up on, bro. And those are the guys, Nick Swisher. Everyone, Robinson Cano, man, that was.
Dude. Now you got Judge. Man, Judge is another. Dude, he's a fucking beast.
Judge is the man. I got a photo of me and Judge. Actually, I'm 6'2", you know, and I'm probably
he's like a tight end,
bro.
Like he's like 6'6", 6'7".
He made me look like 5'5", bro. And and I'm 6'2", and I'm like, damn, bro. But yeah, Yankees for sure.
Okay.
But I shout out the Mets though. You know what I'm saying? I represent New York through and through. But
Yeah.
again, you know, for me, it's Yankees. It's Yankees.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. So you spoke about it briefly, but at the beginning, but when you had the health scare, the first one, what time was that? Before the music, or was that?
Yep.
So that was when you were. That was in the college days, right?
Yeah, that was right. That was about 2 to 3, probably 5 months after I quit baseball. So like I said, I had 5 months where I didn't really have an active dream that was going on. I didn't really know what to do. And like I said, I was just like, I'm going to be the best partier I could be. You know what I'm saying? So basically I was just having fun, you know what I'm saying? Making, just being a young, dumb kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just, and like I said, it was my first taste of freedom. Yeah. But, you know, that first taste of freedom can lead to, you know, a lot of dangerous situations. And I just been that way my whole life, you know what I'm saying? Putting myself in dangerous situations. So it kind of all just came to a halt. But like I said, you know, I'm just glad God woke me up. And like I said, he shakes people up for different reasons. But like I said, luckily I'm here right now, motherfucking Chat Arms TV, baby. So it's a blessing.
Dude. No, for sure, man. And like you were saying, you said it was the coma was like a 22-hour deal. And then you just woke up and your family was there.
Yes, sir.
And then it was like, when that happened, because that was that a culmination of you just partying like crazy for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, so it was kind of like a beach week thing that we had. So it was like the second day of this beach week of just doing a bunch of, you know, dumb stuff.
Yeah, just college shit.
Just college stuff, as you can think, all the stereotypical stuff. And it was at like 5 p.m. I probably didn't eat that much that day. I was hot, dehydrated. And then, yeah, supposedly I just collapsed. Wasn't breathing for a while, so like, you know, they tried to perform CPR on the way to the hospital, but lack of oxygen, 22 hours in a coma, 0.62 blood alcohol concentration with a whole bunch of different drugs in my system I don't really want to name. Yeah. But at the same time, like I said, you know, it's just a thing from God to just say, hey, look, dude. I see how passionate you are, Trip, but we gotta figure out where this passion is going.
Yeah, you gotta,
because you got a fire in you. But let's put this fire somewhere else now. So, you know, luckily, like I said, I just stayed true to my heart. You know, obviously I had to repair the wounds that, you know, not were only within me but within my family. Yeah. And I got a big Italian family from New York, like I said. So there was a lot of wounds and a lot of fences to be painted and a whole lot of, you know what I'm saying, cars to wash and this and that. But it was we bounced back, man. We bounced back.
No, for sure, dude. And so. Going back to the Wild at Heart project, the newest album that you dropped, which was March of this year, 2024.
Yes, sir.
I can't remember which song I heard first. I don't know if it was Vicious. I can't remember. Did you drop Vicious? When did you drop that one? Like
the first single was actually Descendant. Okay. So that one came out about probably a month or two before the full album dropped. Yeah. So Descendant was the first one. And then once the album dropped, the first video was Checkmate. Okay. And then from there it was Vicious.
Vicious. So I can't remember if it was Checkmate or Vicious that I saw on Instagram, but I think you had commented on that a reel I posted when me and Jamwayne was at the Redneck Rave.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out who you were, and I saw the videos. And I think it was a clip of Vicious or Checkmate. And that's when I was like, bro, I was telling my girl, I was like, man, this dude, I need to sit and talk with this dude. This dude has it, bro. Like you got, and I didn't know anything about you other than those videos, but I know you was interested enough and talented enough where I was like, I'd like to sit down with this guy and just kind of see what he's got, what his story is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
I appreciate it, bro, and it's reciprocated. You know, I saw you doing your thing too, and that's why I said, you know, I don't care how many followers I got, this or that. If I see something dope, yo, this shit is dope, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this shit keep rocking out. I see you on stage. You feel me? That's just how I am, bro. I feel like a lot of artists and a lot of, you know, people in life in general, they move out of lack. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like there's not enough, like, bro, there's enough space for everyone. We just got to help each other, man. Like, no, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we could be at completely different levels or whatever it is. We could be doing different things, but I guarantee you, if you find two people, they can help each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're a good dude. I got that from the jump. So I was like, yo, we got to, come on, bro, let's make something happen.
Yeah, bro.
And now we're here.
Now we're here, man. You got on the podcast. We just did an interview, and we've got a few songs in the works. So Chat Arms TV listeners are going to be hearing Trip on a lot of these Gray-Headed Goat projects, and I'm sure we're going to have visuals and all that. But I wanted to. This is not going to be the last time you see Trip on Trip's. We're going to do more interviews with him, but I wanted to give the people a glance into the story of you, man, just to give them it's more of a Cliff Notes, but it's between this and then the podcast that's going to be on Squince's channel, I think there's enough there for people to really get to see where you came from and what you're about, and your music speaks for itself. So, but I like to see the person behind the music to where people just don't see, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, once again, you know, New York raised Italian, as stereotypical as it can get, you know, blue collar.
Yep.
You know, my father, he worked from 6 a.m. to, you know, 8 p.m.
Yep.
Tripodi's appliances, selling, you know, dishwashers, this and that. I have 3 older sisters and a mom. You know, it was a pretty traumatic childhood growing up, and you know, they ended up getting divorced. So, you know, it's a typical kid who had a hard childhood, you know, did some bad things, and, you know, got away with a lot of things I shouldn't have. And at the same time, I've always just been a person who's had a passion and a love for the unknown. And again, baseball was something that I knew and I was very good at. And I, you know, took the chance to, you know, give away all the money I could have made. And shout out to all my coaches who would verify I would have made a lot of money if I kept playing baseball. But I said, there's more to this life. I'm too curious by things. I'm too curious by the trees. I'm too curious by the flowers. I'm too curious by, you know what I'm saying, everything, you know? So for me, it was just something of, if I got one life, I want to find out really what I could do with it. And it came through music, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, I got blessed with a deep voice. You know, people always say, I can't believe it. I know I did this as you, blah, blah, blah.
Bro,
but
you sound exactly how you sound on record, dog.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was just like, I mean, I don't know how it came about, but like I said, luckily to God, it came out. And man, I'm just a person, like I said, I want to represent the Warriors. I want to represent the people, you know, who have been hurt. Again, I've been in a coma myself. I've dealt with addiction myself. You know, so I'm trying to be a beacon for the kids who are in my position, who felt lost, who didn't feel loved, and really just trying to not only motivate y'all and ignite y'all, but make y'all have a good time, man, in the right way. So, like I said, I am Big Trip on all social media, Big Trip on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Check them out. Join the movement, rock the merch, and like Chad says, man, we got some stuff coming through y'all gonna love, bro. So again, Brendan Lewis Tripodi is Big Trip.
Hell yeah, man. Trip, I appreciate you, bro. And y'all be sure to subscribe to him. We'll put his link tree in the comments. And
yes, sir.
You're going to see a lot of shorts and a lot of music coming up with Trip and Chad Arms. So
tap it in. Much love, brother. I appreciate you again.
Much love, dog.
Much love to y'all, man.
Yeah.